We are headed outside for today's Better Home segment. It's the 4th of July, and many of you may have plans to fire up the grill for your holiday celebration. But before you get started, we've got some tips from this year's James Beard Foundation semifinalist chef at Fox and Pearl in Kansas City, where they specialize in Midwestern comfort food with a classical technique cooked over wood fire.
Today we're going to grill a smoked pork chop, which is a technique that we like to do quite a bit with like larger cuts of meat, which is to smoke them, maybe just like a cold smoke where you're not cooking them all the way through. It's already been smoked, as you can kind of see, but it's still a little raw. Put a little air onto the coals and feeding them a little bit of air so that they can get hotter and burn a little bit. Since it's already cooked, we're gonna put it right down on the coals and try to get like a nice fast sear on it. We take some local garlic scapes, which are like the green shoots of garlic that come up in the spring, some shallots, some local oyster mushrooms, and then these are some turnips that we fermented like sauerkraut to give it some acidity to the dish. And we're gonna finish those on the coals a little bit, but you know, at home you could do this same way. I would suggest like a cast iron or a black steel pan, something that can get hot, and you can sit that right on top of the coals. We're gonna finish our pork chops with a little butter just in case they needed a little bit more fat and flavor. It's got some nice color on it, caramelization, kind of let the fat bubble and render out a little bit. We're gonna take that, put it on a plate. And then here we've got our garlic scape butter will sit on top of our pork chop. Usually you want to let your meat rest for a little bit before you serve it. We're gonna take our roasted mushrooms, shallots, add that to our pork chop. Finish this with some hyssop, which is flower herb. It's got a nice kind of anise flavor, like fennel. I'm gonna finish that. There's our pork chop.
Don't have a hearth? No problem. Chef Good says that your home grill will do the trick. Be sure to monitor the heat of the fire, use good charcoal, and be mindful of what you're grilling. He says smaller cuts of meat should be cooked closer to the flame. Sear it quickly and get it off. Keep larger cuts of meat further away from coals so you don't burn the outside before you finish the inside. And we'll post the recipe for the garlic scape butter over on our website with this story.